So being a good watercolor painter and doing it successfully and consistently depends a lot on how well you understand the characteristics of the medium. A lot of that is developed in the beginner stages, and then it's about having a system in place, sort of a checks and balances, if you will, that you can use that will help eliminate a lot of frustration, wasted time, common mistakes, that sort of thing. So in this video, I'm going to share with you a process that I used a lot and still use that helped me do just that. So let's just cue the video, and then when we're done, we'll come back and then I'll recap a little bit about it and then share with you some ideas on how you can further the learning along those lines. Okay, enjoy. So this would be the final painting, but let's talk about what went into it. First, there's an inspiration image, something that excites me. Now, instead of using a traditional rule of thirds, I like to use a non-traditional. So that's basically taking these areas that were once all equal and having a small, medium, large area, both vertically and horizontally. Then I fit my composition in that. Step 2 is doing a quick value study. I like to start with just a puddle of medium or darker tone gray. Then I can add water to that for the first wash. Now with watercolor, I can go ahead and stain everything this very, very light color and leave any sort of white space that I don't want to have any color on. That's important. So I'm figuring all these things out in this value study. Now, once that first layer is dry, I can do what I'm doing now. That's adding the second layer of color. Because one layer is stacked on the other, it's going to be darker. And we can, of course, use a darker value paint as well. I'll let that dry, and I'll do exactly what I'm doing now, is use even darker and thicker paint. And I'm starting to add the shadows, the cast shadows, some darker figures in the foreground, and so on. And this will help me or guide me through the process of the finished painting. So let's talk about that. The initial wash, I'm going to use a variegated wash. So some really light yellow values and ochres in the sky. And I'm going to add a little bit of pinks and alizarin crimson, that sort of thing to the building. But the idea here on this first wash is I'm not attacking one individual piece of the subject. I'm staining the whole paper, but I'm also thinking about the values. Everything is watered down. It's a very tea-like mixture. Now I let that dry, just like that value study. I start moving in with thicker paint. And where that yellow was put down in the original wash, I can negative space around that, get my umbrellas, and pretty quickly things start to appear. And when that layer is dry or almost dry, I can start to move in with even darker values. Again, I'm using that initial value study as my guideline. And doing that very first step of the design and composition really helps with my confidence as I move through these stages. And just like in the value study, once I get the big blocks in place, now I can start to think a little bit about the details. I can think about the shadows. So these would be just little, I'm suggesting shadows under the tables, which are under the umbrellas. And just adding a little sense of light and shadow. Now, this is pretty much completely dry. Now I'm going to use darker values. I'm also going to start introducing accent colors. And that's going to sort of pop this overall tonal painting. So a tonal painting just has more of a grayish feel to the hues. Now, it's just about adding a few details. Again, the windows aren't important. All these things I'm doing now really aren't important because I really want to show the umbrellas, the figures. And I know if I start adding too much away from that area, then it's just going to become distracting and fussy. Okay, so there is a really good process to think about. Step 1 is the most important. It's what I skipped across very early on because I just wanted to paint I saw the bright red car, I saw the beautiful tree, I saw the red barn, and I just wanted to get to work. I get it. But if you don't know what you're trying to say with the painting and what you're trying to show the viewers, or find that one little bit that's exciting, then a lot of times you end up with a fussy painting. Everything is painted in great detail. It looks very confusing, and it can be a very frustrating circle to be in. And I know for me, understanding design and composition, I like to use that alternative rule of thirds. That was critical. That was a breakthrough for me. I spent a lot of time there learning that, and then that helped eliminate a lot of issues. Is every painting a masterpiece? No. But we eliminate a lot of problems that continue to come up if you don't understand that value hierarchy, doing that value study, manipulating things, adding figures, taking away figures, adding a tree, taking away a tree. That all happens in those first few stages. A little bit of time, a little bit of investment goes a long way in the final piece. And the final piece, if we do the first few stages right, will almost paint itself. Anyway, there's some links in the description if you want to learn more. If you have a comment about this, if you have questions about it or whatever, feel free to ask and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.